You might think maybe like Taylor Swift was in the middle here, but no. Or you might think these folks were cheering and waving to Tom Holland, but no. Oh, they're excited all right, and they're definitely hitting the high notes at an outdoor event in northern London. But it wasn't a celebrity that brought them here. It was a woman inspired by a trend on TikTok in which people try to scream their cares away. It's being called a type of urban therapy. The AFP news agency reports that London is one of the busiest cities in the world and that the Scream Squad event helps participants release stress, feel better, sleep better, feel less lonely. Some are getting together for dinner afterward, and while we're not sure ringing ears and hoarse voices make for the easiest conversation, they are spending time with others in person, as many health experts keep telling us to do. One teacher here said she spent her workdays surrounded by screaming kids. We don't know what age level, but that while she stays calm then, this is her time to shine and scream. Hi, I'm Azuz. Wednesdays are mid, you are not. We're excited to welcome the best audience in news to the world from A to Z. New research is out concerning the use of artificial intelligence in the classroom. The Center for Democracy and Technology, a nonprofit group based in Washington, D.C., gave online surveys to more than 1,000 high school students and over 800 teachers at the middle and high school levels. As of this summer, the center found that about 85% of teachers and 86% of students had used AI in some way. This usage wasn't spread evenly. About a third of teachers said they'd barely used it, if at all. Roughly two-thirds said they were occasional or frequent users of AI. For students, usage in class was split evenly among those who'd used it a lot, sometimes, and rarely. The findings were pretty nuanced. For instance, teachers who used AI frequently were more likely to praise potential benefits like new teaching methods, personalized learning, efficient time management, but they were also more likely to highlight potential problems, like it not working correctly, not treating students fairly, and damaging a community's trust in the school. Teachers of all usage levels said it created more work for them to determine whether a student's work was their own as opposed to being done by AI. Roughly half the students surveyed said the technology makes them feel less connected to their teachers, and a majority of them said they'd consulted AI to escape from real life or for friendship, advice on relationships, or mental health support. That's something experts are concerned about.
The bad news is that the risks that we're talking about today, including students' potentially unhealthy relationship with this technology, are rarely covered.
So they're advising students who use AI to talk about that use with a parent, adult, or mentor. Psychologists say it's important to remember that the technology is not a substitute for real relationships and that it can give inaccurate information that people should discuss. All of this highlights the challenges of using new and fast-developing technology when the best ways to do that and the long-term effects are still unknown.
Word of knowledge. What is the meaning of Lilliputian, a word first used in a book published in 1726? Beauteous, leafy, innocent, miniature. Gulliver's Travels, the same book that used Brobdingnagian for huge, brought us Lilliputian for miniature.
It's a small world, after all, so let's take a moment to marvel at the little things in life. And when I say little, I mean microscopic. Since 1975, the Nikon Small World competition has been an annual showcase for a very unique brand of visual artists, photomicrographers, who spend most of their time peering into a world of the unseen. Nikon has announced the winners and finalists of the 2025 competition, and it's a who's who of artists and scientists from around the globe whose steady shutters capture the nitty-gritty of the itty-bitty. All are amazing in their own right, but finalists include a single water droplet bursting with life in the form of algae blooms, microscopic spores of a tropical fern sporting a rainbow of colors, and a pair of water fleas having a meeting of the microscopic minds. But the overall winner was this tiny weevil frozen in flight over a single grain of rice, which not only highlights the biology of the insect, but the incredibly small scale that provides the palette for these keen-eyed artists. You can see the full field of finalist images at nikonsmallworld.com.
On this date in world
October 22nd, 1797, a French balloonist named André-Jacques floated up to a height of about 2,000 or 3,000 feet and then cut loose from the balloon. Onlookers reportedly screamed until the parachute fully opened and slowed down his descent. And while it wasn't exactly gentle with the basket swinging widely back and forth, it was successful and the era of parachuting began. On this date in 1836, Samuel Houston became the first president of Texas, which was then a republic. The Texas Army general and politician would later serve as U.S. Senator for the state and temporarily its governor, but he was removed from that position when he opposed joining the Confederacy in the lead-up to the Civil War. And American inventor Thomas Edison made history on this date in 1879. He was testing out an electric bulb with carbonized thread, and once it started burning, it stayed that way for more than 13 and a half hours, becoming the first practical light bulb, an invention that would change the world.
Your school can unlock all this with a $25,000 travel scholarship. Teachers, enter now for the chance to win.
Lights out. Hong Kong's iconic Sunbeam Theatre is shutting off its neon sign for good. And that's becoming more common. Neon signs worldwide, ultra popular in the mid to late 1900s, have been losing popularity for decades.
I know that I have already missed the prime of neon signs. The number of neon signs on the streets are going down.
But artists like Jive Lau are working hard to keep the culture of neon from going dim. His studio is open to visitors, and he teaches enthusiasts the tricks of his fast-fading trade for free.
If there's one more person who knows about it, it could still help to preserve the heritage of neon signs.
Some neon signs still dot busy streets, but it's a far cry from Hong Kong's bright past. In the 1950s, neon signs had already had their moment in much of the Western world, and had begun falling out of fashion. But Hong Kong was behind the curve. Neon signs were all the rage here until the 1980s.
But Asian cities quickly caught up with the Western trends, and soon neon signs were being replaced with LEDs like this.
Colored LEDs look similar and use less energy than neon lights. Most neon lights also contain mercury gas, which can be dangerous if inhaled, making the disposal of the lights a hassle. But for these artists, the finished project is worth the future inconvenience. Carefully heating and shaping the glass, they create intricate designs that go far beyond your typical open sign. Dancing cows, glowing dragons, botanical statues.
I hope through creative works I can find a new way for the traditional craft of neon to have an extended life, or to survive in a new way.
He still gets some commissions for business signs, but many pieces are purely artistic, made for exhibitions or just for the love of the craft. Lau and his students plan to keep creating for years to come, hoping their work reignites the public's interest.
Haven't shouted out New York a lot this fall. That changes now. Mr. Matura's class, we see you at Hauppauge High School. The Eagles are flying high in Hauppauge, New York. But they ain't the only birds. Over in Joplin, Missouri, we've got some Eagles perched at South Middle School. Thanks to all the students and teachers watching there. And we'll land in the prairie state of Illinois. Miss Wenberg's class is at Mooseheart School. Great to see y'all in Mooseheart. Corbin Lester isn't only a recent Teacher of the Year at an elementary school in Tennessee, he's also a local celebrity for his face-forward school spirit. Mr. Lester is a die-hard University of Tennessee fan. A few years ago, he started spraying his beard orange and then putting a checkerboard template over that to color in the white. He's been doing this for every Volunteers home game since 2021, which is why he's known at school and at games as UT Checkerbeard. If you mustache, it definitely appears to be more than a go team goatee. And even if Tennessee gets chopped or sideburned on the field, it's not hair-raising for Mr. Lester. He bootstrapped more than a chin strap to stay muttoned up by a whisker, so he's always got a soul patch of spirit to keep his chin up. I'm Carl Azuz, shaving off puns on the world from A to Z. We hope you'll face the day with confidence. You mean the world to me.